My name is CUPPY. I'm a DJ, entertainer, student, and I very proudly am a Red Devil. I support United. So football is actually a huge part of my world. I fell in love with the sport when I realized how much it brought communities together. I'm from Nigeria, born in Lagos, one of the most amazing cities in the world. And football is, alongside music, the heartbeat of the city. And for me, it's the fact that, football is an international sport, and we support so many UK teams, despite many of us not even visiting the stadiums. Everyone talks about the die-hard Nigerian fans. And so from a young age, I was around that. And when you think about me being a female DJ and how much I'm in a male-dominated industry, I always was fascinated by just the sport. And the competitive side of me as well definitely came out. So my first proper experience of football was actually just going alongside a friend to Old Trafford, not really understanding how epic those days were. And now understanding and being a fan and really growing with the team. Football is amazing, it gives you something to look forward to, and that's what music does for me as well. So, sport and music, what more do you need? Deep in my heart, I have always been a United supporter. I remember, the days of Beckham, of Scholes, of Giggs. But I will also say, there's definitely footage somewhere in the world of me at the Emirates, singing certain songs. But on a serious note, I am, at the end of the day, I'm a Lagosian, but I'm a Londoner, and I spent a lot of time, supporting Arsenal through those cold nights. And the community within Africa and within Nigeria is definitely on the red side. You're either with United or you're with Arsenal, or maybe Liverpool as well. Definitely not the others. Point is, I supported Arsenal for a very long time. But I think the turning point for me was, United getting their first Nigerian player. When Judy Gallo came, I was inspired, and I don't know why I decided, if he scored a goal, because after 7 years of crying in the Emirates, I needed a light, and I decided if he scored that day, I would make the unforgettable, unforgivable move, and I did, and he scored. And ever since, it's been quite the journey, This is the thing about football, anything can happen. And so, it's been quite a journey for me. It's hard, I do think about my ex sometimes, but it's the fun of it. And I really, for me as an African, I love the community, and I tend to really support teams that are diverse and that are open. And like I said, football is not just a national sport, it's a global sport. And I see as well, from the other side, what football does to communities back home. It empowers young people, gets them off the streets. So naturally, I'm gonna go where my people go. The first United game was a very long time ago. It was the glory days. And, Ferguson was still manager. I think from what I remember, it was definitely, I think it was just a cup game. But this is what I'm saying, I didn't know. I wasn't aware of how epic it was being there at the same stadium as Alex Ferguson. You never really think about history until it's over. That's one thing you need to remember about football. It's about living in the present. And, and now, gosh, from manager to manager, but it's really, actually also I did go at some point when David Moyes was manager as well. That was interesting. But it's amazing. Everyone knows the atmosphere in Old Trafford. It's just huge. You know, the songs, the fans. And I've seen it from different aspects. You know, I've gone to the museum, I've been in a VIP box, I've been part of the crowd. So I think it's just about getting yourself involved. And what's been really nice as well is just seeing more women involved in the sport. I think we talk about football a lot from the player aspect and how there needs to be more equality, but also from the fan base as well. You know, it's really important to make sure that we can all jump in the conversation and have fun. Football fashion is fun, you know. I feel like it's really exciting because there's so many ways to express yourself, express your team. You know, we always look forward to the new season kit. We really get involved, and actually, funny enough, I think our players also influence our fashion a lot. And as a Nigerian, you know, when you look at things that have happened within, you know, the kind of national global games, and you see the impact of our kit, you know, colors and design are a way of expressing ourselves. So I'm always excited to see what we're gonna come up with. Now, as far as United, I've liked some kits better than others. You know, I mean, remember our kit, the infamous zebra, we called it, our away kit, that was really fun. And so, you know, I hope that we find ways of inventing ourselves. And, you know, you can catch me at a game with the scarf. You know, the scarf is always great. But I always find, you know, it's so much more than just wearing the shirts. You know, there's so many other ways, whether it's colors, design, hats. You know, there's ways of expressing yourself. And when you think about being a United fan, a Red Devil, you gotta have your red. Got to have your red. Yeah, I feel like when I think about just special moments, I think about, you know, I think not only culturally, outside the pitch as well, you know, the impact that Nigerian just culture and social discourse has had on the sport. You know, like I said, we've had someone like Igalo come in. There's been so many phenomenal players. You think back to someone like JJ Okocha. I mean, when I met JJ Okocha, I was like, hi, oh my gosh, JJ, I'm CUPPY. He was like, I know who you are. I was like, yep, I made it. You know, and you know, you think about Kano, and you just think about young people like Iwobi, you know, coming through. And I'm just so proud of what Africans are doing in the sport. But I think also when I think about my special moments as well, I think about just Pogba arriving. Do you remember that? You know, I know we've just had, you know, Ronaldo, but I feel like Pogba was different. The campaign. Now, I'm a DJ, so bringing music into it was mad. Like, that made me, I can't lie, that made me want to just throw my Arsenal shirt and just put on a United one. You know, the campaign of Pogba, having Stormzy and Pogba going back to back. This is what I'm saying, like when you put music and sport, it becomes a movement, you know? So that was special. Everyone was rocking their Pogba hair, you know, on the pitch, you know, different hype, but it was just phenomenal. Now we all know, like, the conversation has changed. The sport has become so much closer to us within our lives, what we do day to day. I mean, we can use the pandemic as an example. The minute we got football back, it just lifted spirits, you know, and it was really about how important it is to our day-to-day, whether we're watching at home, whether we're watching with friends, whether we're watching alone. And so the lifestyle aspect of football is so important. So using Pogba and his phenomenal campaign and, you know, him coming back, and just the conversations, the memes, the discourses around it, it's so much bigger than football. I think that football has really become a glue. And the world needs that, you know, and it's so much more than winning or losing. It's just about bringing people together. You know, we see it with the Euros, we see it with the World Cup, we see it with the Africa Cup of Nations, and we see it with the players. And I think also for me, as, you know, a young Black woman, I look at how important football is to that conversation as well, of equality, bringing people together. And at the end of the day, you know, you've got 11 people that are trying to get that ball in the net. And regardless of their background, their age, their race, you know, they all have a common goal, and that's a beautiful thing. Boom! Drop ball.